Building a machine that works harder requires a more powerful engine and the ability to haul more stuff. Putting in more hours is easier, with a comfortable place to sit and suspension that smooths out the bumps. The ability to reach any job site or remote destination becomes easier, with capable, predictable handling and the clearance to traverse rough terrain. By coincidence and design, all of these attributes also add up to creating a very capable recreational machine as well. Unique to the utility recreation segment are machines that can haul up to 6 occupants. These machines are attractive to work crews and fun-seeking families, as the price of purchasing and maintaining a single 6-seat UTV is far less than 2 or 3 smaller capacity machines. On behalf of these enthusiasts, we decided to thoroughly test the seriously updated, incredibly capable, and surprisingly fun 2019 Polaris Ranger Crew XP1000. UTV On Demand's test of the 2019 Polaris Ranger Crew XP1000 was made possible by Maxima side-by-side engine oil, an ester-based full synthetic oil blended with a unique balance of surface-active, anti-wear, and extreme pressure additives to ensure smooth, trouble-free operation under extended periods of use. Lower operating temperatures increase horsepower and keep your engine running clean with Maxima side-by-side synthetic oil, the only oil formulated specifically for your high-performance UTV. The 2019 Ranger Crew is said to have over 100 changes. The Sage Green steel wheel-equipped base model starts out at $16,999. For $1,100 more, there are 2 premium models, highlighted with automotive-style paint and cast aluminum wheels. $200 more will get you the Polaris Pursuit Camo model we're testing, complete with aluminum wheels. Year-round comfort is available with the fully enclosed, heated, and air-conditioned North Star Edition. The Ranger Crew Highlifter Edition is purpose-built to transport your crew through deep, muddy terrain. We'll be reviewing this machine in the coming weeks, so subscribe and enable notifications and you won't miss it. Putting the work capabilities of the Ranger Crew to the test, we took it out for a day-long hay baling event with longtime UTV On Demand test driver Aaron Meyer and his big country boy cousins. Then we headed to Haspin Acres Off-Road Park in Laurel, Indiana, for a day of off-road riding in some pretty adverse conditions, with longtime friend William Collins, his boys, and our boss Jennifer Wingate. William was eager to show his boys the place where he grew up riding with his dad. With 3 boys, plus a daughter and fiancé at home, the Ranger Crew is one vehicle that would allow William to bring his entire family, plus all the gear they could possibly need. Getting dressed up in new off-road gear from Fly Racing provides protection and adds to the feeling of being part of something. Fly has cool gear options at many different price points, with color options that met the demands of all of our discriminating testers. The 1000 is powered by a 999cc parallel twin-cylinder, liquid-cooled, fuel-injected 4-stroke engine, with 4 valves and double overhead cams per cylinder. Polaris is claiming the most horsepower and torque of any machine in its class for 2019. Power output was increased from 80 to 82 horsepower, thanks to an updated intake, exhaust, and optimized ECU. A drive-by-wire gas pedal allows for Polaris 3-mode throttle setup, providing work, standard, and performance modes. With a transmission in high range, work mode reduces the total amount of throttle available by a noticeable amount, and spreads throttle delivery over the entire throw of the pedal, providing smoother, more precise control for improved work and low-speed operation. Performance mode provides maximum throttle response, getting you into the throttle early for aggressive driving. Standard mode provides full power, but reduces power delivery early on in the pedal stroke compared to performance mode. Allowing you to stay out longer, fuel capacity has increased by 1.5 gallons to 11.5 gallons. The fully automatic Polaris variable CVT transmission features high and low ranges plus neutral, reverse, and park. Redesigned for 2019, the Ranger Crew's transmission features a wider ratio, allowing Polaris to gear the transmission down for additional towing capacity, while reducing engine operating RPM for a quieter riding experience. Engine braking has been added to reduce demand on the brakes. Air intakes for the engine and transmission are located high under the hood, far from most splashing water and mud. The drive system features two-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, and Polaris VersaTrack Turf mode, which allows you to unlock the rear differential for use on sensitive surfaces. On high-traction surfaces, Polaris all-wheel drive system provides drive to the rear tires only for lighter steering. With minimal slippage of the rear tires, the front wheels engage, providing true locked-in four-wheel drive until the system senses that traction has been restored. Out on the farm loaded with 6 occupants, the Ranger proved to have plenty of muscle. It easily got a loaded hay wagon rolling, which greatly exceeded its 2,500-pound towing capacity. With the engine delivering lots of torque, the clutch strikes a good balance between smooth engagement and providing a little snap to get heavy loads moving. Pulling a hay rake to rake the hay into rows before the baler comes through, work mode on the Ranger's throttle really came in handy, allowing for easy gas pedal modulation at lower speeds, aiding in control and comfort. During recreational testing, we left the Ranger in sport mode most of the time, maximizing its fun factor. If you assume that the Ranger Crew is just a mundane workhorse, it may surprise you. Its high-torque 82 horsepower engine delivered a higher level of fun than we expected. It launches off the line with authority and pulls respectably at medium speeds. We had the Ranger up over 50 miles an hour within a few hundred-yard drag race. The engine delivers a satisfying level of performance for spirited trail riding, but is smooth and good-natured for working or driving at lower speeds. Cruising along the trail at high range, engine noise is pretty quiet. Conversation is possible without much effort, unless you start romping the gas. Adding an aftermarket exhaust system can further enhance this engine's superb low-end power. HMF's Titan slip-on and fuel management system are said to add 4 horsepower on average, 6% on top, with a significant 30% horsepower increase off the bottom, accompanied with a 27% increase in torque. Adding more fuel will also help the engine run cooler. With very little traction available throughout most of our trail riding, all-wheel drive was seemingly always engaged, helping pull the car along. We were amazed at some of the hills that the heavyweight could claw its way up, in conditions where walking was treacherous. There was no apparent lag between the rear tires beginning to spin and the front wheels beginning to pull. All in all-wheel drive worked pretty flawlessly throughout our adverse testing conditions. The engine braking was a welcome feature on the slippery downhills or any time the crew was loaded down. It felt natural and wasn't overpowering. Everything bolts up to a stiffer one-piece chassis for 2019. The front of the machine features a massive front bumper with winch and other accessory integration, plus plenty of room to tie onto. The Ranger Crew has grown in nearly every way for 2019. The car is 1.5 inches wider due to its redesigned bodywork at 62.5 inches. It's 1 inch taller at 77 inches, 4 inches longer at 152 inches, and the wheelbase remains the same at 113 inches. Utilizing the same dual A-arms from 2018 at both ends, suspension travel is class leading and has been increased by 1 inch to 11 inches of travel front and back. The new shocks feature spring rates and valving that are unique to the Ranger Crew and its increased capacities. They feature preload adjustment at both ends. Designed with work in mind, 27-9-12 front and 27-11-12 rear 6-ply Maxxis tires are used on all but the entry-level Sage Green model. They're said to be tougher, longer lasting, and quieter on any surface. The updated suspension and taller tires have increased ground clearance by 1.7 inches to a class-leading 13 inches. The steering rack was revised for improved responsiveness to steering wheel input for enhanced maneuverability in tight terrain. Turning radius has been reduced by a claim to 10%. All Ranger Crew 1000s come standard with electric power steering, which has been revised for a better riding experience according to Polaris. With all of the improvements, the vehicle's claimed dry weight has increased by 300 pounds to 1,936 pounds. Suspension action is typically Polaris plush. Small bumps and rocks simply disappear regardless of speed. Over medium-sized bumps, the very active suspension lets the tires track with the terrain, leaving the occupants virtually impervious to what's going on beneath. While we found the limits of the front suspension on a couple of occasions, it was still rather plush. Truth be told, we left the suspension's preload in the middle setting throughout our testing, and never saw a need to mess with it. We could see adding some preload to the rear shocks and softening the fronts if we were towing a trailer with a heavy tongue weight, or hauling a half-ton in a bed. Riding along a hillside pulling a farm implement, whipping the back end around in the wet stuff, or searching for traction on an off-camber trail, the Ranger crew delivered confidence-inspiring handling. Steering precision is good whenever traction is available. Responsive steering and the crew's enhanced turning radius allow you to navigate tight trails that you might not expect to make it through. Bump feedback is well filtered by the electric power steering. Steering effort at a slower working pace is nice and light, feeling predictable at higher speeds. We can't believe we didn't manage to get stuck with the Collins family at Haspin Acres. The stock tires are definitely best suited for hard to intermediate surfaces with a little mud thrown in. William managed to tackle some pretty wet, snotty inclines with a car full of cheering kids. We credit him with staying in the gas, abundant power to spin off the tires, and all-wheel drive's four-wheel search for grip. We imagined that the Ranger crew could be nearly unstoppable with a set of proper wet weather tires. The hydraulically assisted dumping cargo bed retains its 1,000-pound capacity, but its dimensions have grown slightly. It's now a 1/4 inch longer and wider and an inch deeper, at 36 3/4 inches long, 54 1/4 inches wide, and 12 1/2 inches deep. The sides of the bed allow for easy partitioning and the attachment of Polaris accessories. Bed space is ample, and the hydraulic assist offers plenty of help for dumping. The tailgate handle feels a bit underbuilt. The beefier chassis, increased power, and additional weight have allowed for an increase in towing capacity from a ton to a whopping 2,500 pounds. As we mentioned, our four-wheeled hay wagon far exceeded the machine's towing capacity. The Ranger got it moving with no problem and steered predictably. Although with a higher tongue weight or operating on uneven terrain, we'd stick to the recommended towing capacity for safety's sake. A class-leading 19 gallons of in-cab storage are provided by 2 glove boxes, a massive open storage box, and several smaller open compartments up front. There is also another storage box located under the driver's side rear seat. Additional open storage is available under the passenger side seats, with integrated bucket rings and pass-through capability front to rear for larger items. The cabin features 8 cup holders, and DC outlets can be found front and rear. Total payload capacity remains unchanged at 1,750 pounds. The Ranger is stopped by 4-wheel hydraulic disc brakes with steel-braided brake lines and dual-piston calipers front and back. With its massive cargo and towing capacities, we're glad that braking power and feel seems on par with the capabilities of the rest of the machine. Polaris worked a lot on improving the interior. Getting in and out is easier with 5 inches more clearance front and rear at the floorboards. The door nets may help keep occupant limbs inside in the event of a tip-over, but they are a bit annoying when jumping in and out for work. Real doors would be a nice standard feature. The seats feature 25% more padding, which is appreciated on long rides. There's plenty of legroom front and back, and the driver can get comfortable thanks to tilt steering and a seat that can be slid fore and aft. Backseat occupants have a grab handle that runs the entire width of the rear seat. The redesigned cockpit is highlighted with an easy-to-read dual-sweep digital and analog display, featuring a 4-inch LCD screen. The drive selector and throttle mode switches are mounted center dash, alongside cutouts for the easy mounting of additional switches to control accessories. Lighting is sufficient, provided by 55-watt low and 60-watt high-beam headlights, along with cool-looking LED tail and brake lights. On the farm, the Ranger's comfortable seating, plush suspension, and roof, which help keep you out of the sun, made it the vehicle of choice for raking hay over the tractor. The Ranger proved to offer pretty good splash protection against water and flying mud. The roof was keeping everyone inside a little drier during downpours. For a machine designed to work hard in all conditions, the roof on an ARM machine should be standard equipment, not a Polaris accessory. If you have a lot of work and more than a few friends to help, are a group of hunting buddies looking for a somewhat economic way to get out together, or are a fun-seeking family in need of a large capacity machine to reconnect on the weekends, these are just a small sample of the many tasks and good times that we can imagine having with a 2019 Polaris Ranger Crew XP1000. If you're already in the market and are simply wondering if the Ranger Crew's updated performance lives up to the hype, the answer is most certainly yes. For more information on the 2019 Polaris Ranger Crew XP1000 and their full line of side-by-sides and ATVs, log on to Polaris.com. If you'd like to see and hear the Ranger Crew 1000 without commentary or music, check out our Ranger Crew Raw video. If you'd like to see us review more machines like the Ranger Crew XP1000, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave us a comment. Thanks for watching.